Today we will be using the Carver texture tools from modernedgeSalon USA, and we're going to be working on straight coarse Asian hair, and we're going to put a little bit of bend and some texture in it to be able to create more of a punk pompadour type of a style instead of it being so straight and so slick. We're working on our top section now, and we're doing double end papers to help give us more length to control the hair, and we're working on a bricklay pattern and evenly distributing moisture throughout the hair as we wrap, working our carver tool from the lengths down to the scalp and then anchoring into place. And we're just going to continue working on a bricklay pattern through the hair. And here's our finished wrap. So we used our carver texture tools and we rolled everything going back, and then we did put a couple stabilizers in just to secure as we're going to be rinsing. And we did a bricklayer pattern with our carver texture tools, and they are available at modernedgesalonsystems.com, and you can follow us on YouTube at modernedgeSalon USA. Now that we have everything wrapped, we're going to be applying our solution, and you just want to apply the solution to the top and bottom of each rod, usually about 2 lines of product on each section, evenly saturating everything, and then process according to manufacturer's directions and time accordingly. Coarser hair may take longer to process, but once you have it bent into the shape, it's going to hold and really keep that curl. So we're going to do a timing of checking every 5 minutes. Our 10-minute timer has rang, so we are going to check the hair now. So we're going to unwind this section here and check and see. So it's developing very nicely. You can see the curls starting to take. And when we're working on this type of hair, we don't want it to be super curly. We just want to have a nice wave formation. So the fact that it took the shape of that rod means that it's completed for this, and we're going to move on. We're going to thoroughly rinse for 5 minutes. After we rinse, there's a wave customizer that comes with this particular perm. Some of them have a conditioning treatment or an interim treatment that you'll put on the rods. So follow your manufacturer's directions for the steps that you need. Then we will thoroughly neutralize and drop the rods. And because we only did a partial perm, we will probably take some of these rods out around the perimeter and comb them flat during the neutralizing process to blend in with the short, straight hair to the new curled, wavy hair. We're now on the final step of doing our carver texture perm, and we're back at the Modern Edge Salon doing our service here at the sink. And again, as if you were doing the solution, you want to work the top and bottom of each rod evenly with your solution. And as I stated before, we dropped these couple rods here and combed straight, applied some neutralizer, and worked that through, combing it straight. And then I just reapplied a fresh cotton around the top to be able to protect the client from any of it dripping. And if any of your rods came a little bit loose while you're rinsing, you can re-secure them. And again, we just want to apply to the top and bottom of each rod 2 or 3 saturations across. And with controlled, as you're working, you want to do an even stream of product. You don't want to continuously spray like a fire hose all over everything. You want to have control and precision when you're working through with your neutralizer. And it's also important to have your client stay sitting up somewhat, that their neck is not against the back of the bowl. We don't want to create any lines or pressure points anywhere to create a divot. So keep them sitting up, have the hair comb smooth, and then apply your neutralizer, process for your 5 minutes, drop, thoroughly rinse. Most manufacturers say not to shampoo or condition. I always prefer to add a little bit of a light volume conditioner just to put some moisture back into the hair. This is the finished product of our carver texture wave we used, and we used our carver tools in the small. We used a firm perm for 10 minutes strand testing to see how it was, and we did just the top, and I think it blends into the other hair beautifully. We had dropped the other rods when we were finished with our perm before we neutralized, combed them smooth, and then put neutralizer on the ones that were rolled to help them blend in so you don't have a hard line of transition going through. So we can go back through and texture cut just a little bit to help soften that as well. But it's a really nice natural just wave and loose open curl that looks like natural hair rather than something that's really tight or coarse or curly. It's going to be a great style to be able to put some gel in and just wear natural like beach hair, or if it's blow dried, you're going to be able to get those really nice rockabilly volume kind of pompadour type styles and looks. So that's the finished product, and then we'll show you again after we blow dry. And here we have the finished look of our carver texture wave blown out. And you can see it just gave a lot of body and volume in the hair without being super curly. And then our transition between where it was smooth and waved blended in really nice. We just went through and cleaned up the edges a little bit and added a little bit of texture. And then this is our finished result of our carver texture wave. And the carver tools are available at modernedgesalonsystems.com.